All right, guys, I got the trailer back from the trailer shop, and sorry about these LED light things. I've tried fighting with that thing, so I just given up. So this is what they did to the trailer anyway. So I got them to put, so this angle iron here that holds the leaf springs was bolted in this area up here. So I got them to weld a 2x2 aluminum, or 2.5x2.5 aluminum, and then they took one from here all the way to the far side, re-bolted this up, and they even put this little plate on here to cover the holes where the hangers were hanging before. And then, of course, they replaced this piece here. So that's excellent. And then these are the brand new tires. So these things are 10 ply, and they're rated for 450 pounds per tire more than what the other ones were. So let's hope these are going to be a little bit better tires. So anyways, time to install this, and on Monday they're going to be doing the side-by-side tires. That's a lot of rubber. All right, guys, now I got the side-by-side in here, and all I did was I put some blocks, and I just loosened the tires up. It's Friday right now, and so the tires are just sitting on here, and I'm going to be taking these back into the same place where I did the trailer tires, and the 33s are going to be put on. I saw the 33s should make a big difference. They're basically the same width, so they're 33 inch. So these are 30 by 10 by 15s, and the new ones are 33 by 10 by 15. So, and in case somebody was wondering why, you already know if you've been watching the video, I wrecked a rim, and there's no use buying a spare for that. So I have a brand new rim, but there's no use putting a spare of the same size because I want to put bigger tires on it anyways. So I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'm keeping the rubber, and I'll put them on Marketplace, and if I can get 50 bucks a tire, well, that'll pay for one of the other tires, let's put it this way. No, it won't. It won't. It'll pay for half of one of the new tires. The new tires are over $400. They're $425 a piece. So, yeah. But it is what it is. Guys, it is hotter than snot balls here. It's in the high 30s right now, and it's just like so unbearable. The humidity's crazy, but I got the tires back, so there's the new ones. And I know it's not, when you put a tire on the rim and it's actually inflated, it always sits higher than normal. But this will give you a good idea of the size difference here between the two tires. So that's them right there. 30-inch 33s. They're both they're both 10s by 15, but this is a 33-inch tire. So anyways, yep, should look good. I don't know if you can see it, guys, but if you think it's not hot in here, I'll tell you something, it is absolutely freaking hot. And this is in the shop here, which is cooler than it is out there. It is absolutely stupid right now. It's the humidity, that's the problem. Temperature wise, I think it's like 27 or 28 today, but they say it's gonna feel like it's 38. So, yeah, that looks a little bit different, doesn't it? Now, I already did this one over here, and there's a torque wrench. So I did 100 foot-pounds of torque on these ones. So, yeah, that definitely gives her a different look, different stance. And I bought 4 more of those plastic caps that go in the center. And like I said before on one of the videos, I think it was last one actually, I'm gonna put a little silicone on it and put them on there, just to hold them on there. They're just plastic, flimsy, stupid little freaking caps, right? And I don't even know what they're worth, but I pulled the other 2 off by hand. So on a machine like this, yeah, pretty cheap, guys. Anyways, I'll just do ready to torque the front, I'll torque the back, and she'll be done. I'm gonna go over to that sink there and rinse my face off with cold water though. Boy, it's hot. All right, so we got the new tires on her, like you already know that. So I'm gonna head up to Freddie there. He's putting a pool together, so I'm gonna give him a hand for a little bit, but that's her with the new tires. Well, something just arrived, and there we go. Well, they say 110 degrees, but I'm hoping, I'm just going to mount this to the bottom of my skylight. We'll have to see how that works. All right, guys. Yes, I still haven't put the cover back on the AC unit yet. But obviously, you know, now I have the Mini here, and my plan is I also got these to mount on the Mini, and then I'm going to install them on the skylight up here. I just got to clean the skylight off and then install them. So I'm not going to record doing it because anybody can clean a window off and install it, but I will show you afterwards when it's all said and done. So right now I got 1 bar of service. Hopefully you can still hear me, but I don't care. It is 33 degrees Celsius right now in the camper. And I just took a shower over here and I'm not gonna start sweating. So I turned the AC on. Although I thought it would be colder than this. I better turn it on high. Get the BTUs going here. Anyways, and then I'll show you after the Starlink is hooked up and we'll give her a test. All right guys, there's the Mini and how I mounted it. Now where I am right now, you can definitely see trees out there. So I've got some trees and I'll do a screenshot of the phone here, but so that's where the Mini is going to be staying. And all right, guys, so far it's working good. There were some obstructions out there, and you saw the trees. But we're going to go here to see where it's going. Okay, obstructions. In the last 15 minutes, it almost went down for about a second. But let's go see the alignment. And you can see the blue. So blue means it's a perfect vision in the sky, and all that red, that's what it's seen as the trees, right? So you can see that there's no data, clear view, and obstructions. So we'll just go down here. Let's go to the speed test here. So yeah, you can see that, like, that's fast. 250, 240, 230 megabytes per second. Of course, that's going to change as the satellites go over top. But let's just say 230 on average. And downloading, so that's when you're actually doing a screening. You're watching YouTube or something. And uploading is if I'm going to put data up into the cloud, which is I'm taking it from my laptop and putting it out there onto YouTube. That's my uploading speed, is 14 megabytes per second. And that was for 26 seconds. So, nope, she's working good. And I'm sure she'd even do better if there was no trees out there. All right, guys, one of the things that's always kind of ticked me off about this whole setup here is this table. What it is just a single pedestal down in the middle here, but they got a board, and I'll show you. They got a board here with a couple of wooden straps going across, and that way it's supposed to be able to adjust from side to side, right? But listen to this thing. Like, I mean, just a terrible design. So I bought a Lagoon, and I'm going to take this thing apart, and I'm going to have to do some planning, so I'm not going to record me scratching my head trying to figure out how I'm going to mount this thing. But basically, it's just a bracket that gets mounted. It just gets mounted to your framework, and then there's the leg that comes up, the arm that goes out, and then the plate that gets mounted at the bottom of the table, and it's all fully adjustable. So like I said, I'm going to try to, sorry, the door closed here, now it just got dark in here. I'm going to try to do a little bit of planning here and see if I can't come up with something, and then I'll show you what I'm planning on doing. So guys, this is what I came up with. So when I ordered this, I ordered the camper with a U-shape dinette because I wanted the storage unit on this side here. So that's a seat over there. And there's my power distribution. So that's 120 volts, 12 volts. My hot water tank. On this side over here, there's a drawer here. So that takes up some room. But then behind it, right here, is my furnace. And this was empty. So this is my 3,000 watt inverter charger. So that being said, it's a bypass inverter. So when I'm plugged into shore power or my generator, it goes through the inverter, sends 120 volts to the rest of the unit, but also charges my batteries with 90 amps DC. And then I have a distribution panel that's on the top here that I built, DC charger. This is on a hinge. I just got it propped up here. Anyways, I put a brace here, and for this lid to sit on, I'm taking the brace out, and then I'm going to mount this in here. So this is actually a form used for concrete. You can see on this side here, there's like a wax paper on the plywood, and then you can see the slots there. That's where the bars go through to hold the plywood. Well, this was a piece sitting in the building over there, and all I had to do was cut off about 3 inches off this end here, and it's going to fit perfectly. So I'm going to take this piece off. I'm going to put glue down on these ribs here, and on the other side of this side, they got a bit of a bracket on both sides here. So I'm going to put glue on this one here, these 4, and then these holes here that'll go on an angle. So then it'll go into this bracket on both sides. Plus I'm going to put 3 screws into these 2. There's not a whole lot of support this way, but this is 3/4 inch. So I'm thinking that when I bolt that plate, it's around here somewhere. So when I bolt this plate will get bolted through this plywood. So the bolts will go on this side, right through and in on the other side of this, and then there'll be a washer, and that's the bolts right there. So that'll just tighten right up on there, and because this will be screwed in those brackets, I think that's going to give lots of support. Obviously, you always try to think about keeping weight down, but at the same time, this is holding up a table, so that's why I'm using 3/4 inch plywood. Anyways, it's starting to get freaking warm again. They're talking about a high of 30 degrees today Celsius, which they say is going to be feeling close to 40, which is cuckoo. Anyways, let me glue this all together, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done before I show you again, but yeah. All right, guys, just trying to deal with the heat. So I got the AC on right now, so it's a little noisy. And yes, I was at a big rainstorm coming over here, and it's still all nice and dry, so I'm going to put the cover on once I'm done recording this. But so there's the table, guys. So like I said before, so this is a piece of 3/4 inch board, and you can see going right across. And you'll see on this side here, there's a brace here. So I got screws going on an angle here, and it's glued. So it's glued here and glued on that side. There's the plate there, but because of the inverter, I couldn't put all the bolts that I wanted to. So it asked for 6 of them, and I only did 4. So the 2 on each side there, which will be fine. But anyways, yeah, so this is the Lagoon table. I'm just gonna, in case I didn't show you this before, that's my furnace. And if you want to see about my electrical upgrades, I believe it's video 54 and 55, that I have my batteries over here, and I'll just open it up quickly to show you. Oh, turn the light on. So it's a door switch light here. So those are 320 amp hours of lithium, and then the rest of the equipment on that side there. So from the batteries, it's all fused and everything. Like I said, if you want to watch a video, I have parallel runs of 1/0 cable. So I have 2 1/0 cables going to the positive and 2 1/0 cables going to the negative. 3,000 watt inverter with bypass and charger. And then I built this on top of it. So let me just put this seat back on here. And take this brace out. So in case you're wondering about the heat, I have, where you see that white tape, that's actually a sensor. And at that end and on this end, hopefully you can see it, I have 2 6-inch fans. So there's a cooling fan inside the inverter, but if it sees, and this is it here, if it sees it going up to 30 degrees Celsius, those 2 fans kick on and they push air right across here to cool this section down, which even on a day like today, which is hot, the fans aren't even on. So that's it right there, guys. This is the Lagoon table. So now you see I don't have a pedestal here anymore. So that's nice. So you can stretch, you can put your legs out here, lean back, do whatever you want, and then you can also, now you bring the table back over. And the nice thing about it is it's still adjustable. It's nice and sturdy, does not make noise, and yeah, so that's it. And it's all adjustable, of course. I can loosen or tighten this, and this arm goes up and down to raise or lower the table. And you can see the adjustment on the top here. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I've already got rid of the old one. So Wes showed up here to do for his boat, and he was asking me what I was doing in here. So I showed him, and he goes, "Oh," he says, "what are you going to do with the pedestal, like the old one that was here?" I said, "Nothing." He goes, "Oh, my boat needs one." I said, "Merry Christmas," and I handed it to him. So he, what in the Lord, the boys are. Must be something blocking their way. Anyways, yeah, so I already got rid of it. What a mess around here. So what I also did, guys, is I bought a friction hinge. And anybody that has an RV will know what I'm talking about here. Timmer?
What the fuck is going on?
Okay, now I'm gonna have to bleep that out, thanks.
Oh.
So this is the friction hinge right here. And these are the original ones. So my camper had a strut here all the time and I hated it. I replaced that thing like 6 times. But now that friction hinge, wherever you leave your door, that's where it stays. And it's windy right now. You can see the trees and this door's not moving. So you can just see it kind of moving back and forth a little bit. So I installed that. It came with 2 of them, so you can put another one here, but I don't know. I told Jared, I said, if you want the other one for your camper, and they're not expensive. I think it was like $40 for 2 of them. So yeah, so I got the table on, the friction hinge. What else do I gotta do in here that I wanted to do? So tomorrow I'm going to work in the cab of the truck and put the platform across, and oh, I got to put this thing back up for the AC, but that's a 10-minute job. That might be all I was going to do inside the camper here that I wanted to get done. So no leaks. We're still doing good that way. So anyways, guys, that is it for the table install. Like I said, I mean, look at that. You can tilt it way back there, and and then of course you just loosen this up, and this whole thing comes right off. So if I want to put the table down here, that still can be done. I just have to loosen that up and pull the arm off, and the table comes off. So you don't lose your second living area down here, I guess you'd call it. But anyways, all right, guys. I think that's going to be it for this video. And thanks for coming along. And as always, be good, be kind, be careful. We'll see you guys down the road. Bye-bye.
It's time for me to go.